Hey there, what we're going to talk about today is how to remain calm amid the chaos, how to feel centered and present even when you've got a lot going on in your life. Now, this is a subtle method, but it's very powerful and it goes against pretty much everything we do when we've got a lot going on in our mind. What I'd like you to realize is that when you're busy, you repeatedly run your to-do list through your mind. It's in half an hour I need to do this, the next hour I need to do this, and then I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and the next thing. And it feels like the day is just one unending list of things to do. And then what happens is you live in your list. Your mind is always with your list. You're never really in the present moment. Even as you're completing each task, you're so absorbed and you're so focused on what you're going to be doing next that you're not here. And it just makes it even worse. It increases this anxiety and this sense of unease when it comes to getting things done. And it doesn't actually help you get things done any more effectively. What I want you to do is, first of all, get your to-do list sorted. So even if you've got a really busy day from dawn till dusk, you're all booked up, you've got things to do, I want you to have that all very clear. What have you got to do? You don't need to plan it minute to minute to minute, but get a good idea of all the tasks that you've got to complete in that day so that you don't have to imagine what you need to do as you're going about your day. You already know what's going to happen. Now, what I want you to do as you're going about your day for the next 12, 16 hours, however long you're going to be busy for, I want you to really cultivate being present. And there's a couple of things I want you to do here. I want you to try and first of all resist the temptation to keep thinking ahead, to keep looking 5 hours ahead, 10 hours ahead and thinking about, right, I need to do this in 5 hours or 10 hours or whatever, and just running that to-do list over and over again. It doesn't help. So I want you to resist the temptation to do that. When you notice you're doing it, just sort of disengage from it. Step back. Feel back. Feel back into the body and just cut off your continuing of that and all this energy that you're putting into this planning and the to-do list. It's not helping you. Next, what I want you to do is try and maintain the body nice and relaxed throughout the day. What happens when we're busy, we've got a lot on the to-do list, we're stressed, is that the body will tense up and it sort of drags us through the day. You ever seen someone walking down the street and it's like they're so keen to get to where they're going that it's like their body is dragging them there. Now that's what happens when we're busy. The body sort of drags us everywhere. And it's when you're doing that, you'll notice there's a lot of tension in the body. What I want you to do is try and relax. Try and have your shoulders nice and low throughout the day. Don't have any excess tension in your hands. Try and keep your arms loose, your chest, your stomach, your legs, and your face. Don't walk around with your face all screwed up. Have your face nice and loose. Try and have the body really loose, because this is a sign that you're flowing. It's a sign that you're not accumulating tension in the body throughout the day. And this is going to make, even though you might have the next 16 hours of your day is totally busy, you're not going to be struggling through it so much. And having the body loose is much easier to be present when the body is loose. And the next point, and this is really the crux of the matter here, is I really want you to try and just cultivate presence. Even as you're going about your tasks, I want you to live more in the senses rather than up here in the planning and all the things I've got to do and all this emotional turmoil that being busy can bring, of juggling lots of balls can bring. Try and ground yourself in the senses, in the sense of sight, in the sense of sound. What's going on around you at this very moment? Because in this moment, this is all you have. You don't have the next 16 hours. All you've got is this moment. And your idea of the next 16 hours is also in this moment right now. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't even know if all those events are going to happen. You've got them all planned out and whatnot. They're to come. You're going to deal with them in that moment. Just try and come back into your senses, into this moment, and really live each moment. And that will take you out of this automatic tendency to live a few hours into the future all the time. It will really bring you back here, and you'll feel a lot more centered and grounded when you do that. As a more general point, I think it's really important to embrace being busy. This might sound paradoxical. Well, if I'm trying to feel better when I'm busy all the time, doesn't that mean I should resist being busy? It's actually not. Because when you resist it, you're just creating more tension in your mind and in your body. Sometimes we're busy and we can't avoid being busy. Sometimes we're busy because we need to get things done. It's not really a choice that we have. Things need to be done, and we're the ones that need to do them. What we're not going to do is resist. We're not going to try and change our situation. We're not going to, fight it. We're not going to, as we're going about our day, we're not going to imagine all the amazing things we could be doing otherwise, or imagine, not having this big to-do list. No, we're remaining centered, keeping the body nice and loose, keeping yourself in the senses, the moment-to-moment sensory input that's coming in through your eyes and your ears, and even the other senses. And just constantly allowing it to happen as it happens. This is a great way to kind of do meditation, whatever you're doing, is to have this orientation of presence, this orientation of accepting, this orientation of flowing, not the opposite, which is pretty much on every count is what we tend to do as we're running around doing things all the time. The beauty of this method is it doesn't mean that one, you don't have to be busy, or that two, you don't have to do things quickly. You can do things quickly and still have the body nice and loose, leaning back a little more, feeling or being in the senses rather than being in your mind and in this forward orientation. You can still go at a fast pace even, but you're still doing it from a different point of view, with the view to cultivating presence, not to getting through all this stuff. So it's a subtle thing, but it's very powerful, and it takes training, especially if you find yourself that having a lot on your plate brings a lot of stress and a lot of chaos into your mind and body. It's going to take a bit of retraining. I just gently encourage you to go through that training, to gently train on those points so that you can enjoy being busy, so that you can turn it into a kind of spiritual practice. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoy this method and do give it a shot. Be persistent with it, and I hope you'll tap into what I'm talking about here. Thanks for watching.